Welcome. We're showing you a picture down in Sarasota, Florida, uh, of a live shot at a pier. I know we're running out of daylight, so some of these aren't the best. Oh, actually, this is Palmetto, the Palmetto River House. So that is actually a little bit to the south. Regardless, it's the wave action in their inlet in Palmetto, Florida, from a side swipe from Helene. So we thought we'd just do a little update for you because Helene has become a Category 4 hurricane. She is continuing to move towards the north. So we're going to continue to check in and give you the latest because I know a lot of people have friends, family, interests in Florida. This, of course, affecting the Gulf Coast and the Big Bend. And maybe you go down there in the winter. Maybe you're retired there. Maybe you want to retire there. So say hello to Linda and Nancy and anybody else that wants to check in. Feel free to do so. I'm meteorologist Tom Atkins, and I'm going to bring my buddy Dorian in here because he is studying to be a broadcast meteorologist.
Hey, how's it going, Night Cappers? How we doing, y'all?
You're going to get your degree in another year and a few months, so he's well into the education. And I need two guys here, just basically because he can feed me information while I talk to you guys. I can do a few things, but we wanted to give you the latest and the greatest here. So Dorian and I are going to try to do that for you. Hello, Adam Ripley. Good to see you here. It was great to see you the other night. Chris Gaggs, graduate of Tallahassee, and that's kind of the direction this thing is moving. Thomas Carlucci, good to have you here from Harbor Creek. Lore from Marionville, and everybody else check in. So you're looking at Palmetto, all right? And we're just going to try a couple other cameras here just to see if we can get some interesting live shots, and then we're going to dig into the maps and show you, more or less where it is, how strong it is, where it's headed, and all that good stuff. So we're going to try Sarasota Bay East, this one's called. So hopefully the camera will flip. Now we're fighting, nighttime, dusk, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, this is a causeway going into Sarasota, and the visibility is very low in that camera. So just a quick shot there. And we'll probably try a couple here in the Tampa area and just see what we can see because, again, if it's in a well-lit area, it's great. If it's not, we've got darkness, so it's kind of hard to see. I mean, maybe we can step upon a pier that's well lit so you could see the ocean, maybe not, but, we're just going to take a few shots here and try to show you some live stuff and before we go into the gory details, okay? So we're hunting around right now. Basically the Clearwater area as well as Tampa St. Pete and those areas just to try to get you. And now this is going to be very dim, but I think there's enough daylight here just to give you an idea. And then we'll dig into other stuff. So continue to comment. I'll get back to your comments. And it's hard to see here, but this is the ocean. Okay, the brighter stuff here are the waves coming in. And again, I apologize because, of course, we are. A lot of these cameras aren't as well lit at this time of night, but we do our best. So we're going to try another one up the shore from Tampa. This is over in Hudson, and again, right along the coast here. The Gulf Coast of Florida. Sorry you can't see the ocean that well, but that's the white stuff. Okay, so you can see somebody just scurrying in here. This is Hudson. This is north of Tampa, and you can see the winds picking up on the palm trees there as the storm is kind of like paralleling the coast there. And I'm going to end with one more here. This is Crystal River, where they have a place called the Plantation, and that place is going to get a lot of water, probably a lot of storm surge, but it's showing a little bit of daylight here. So from the palm trees of Hudson to the Plantation at Crystal River, and ominous clouds, not as much wind yet because that's a little further north. So just giving you want to just shut that down, Dorian, on the side there. Thank you. All right, here we go into the graphics. And just take a shot here just to show you a satellite picture. Okay. And there it is. It's a Cat 4 now too. I apologize for that. That just got updated in the last hour. So you can see the eye off of Tampa, and we were looking at cameras right here. Okay. So the storm itself is moving to the north. Okay. And it's moving at a fairly good clip. What did you say, Dorian? About 23?
Yeah, 23 miles an hour, and I kind of just drew a little, line for, like, it's about 78 miles away from, like, the coast.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do that as well. We're just trying to update graphics as we go on the fly here. Hello, Kathy H. Hello, Dawn. She's got cousins in Jacksonville, thankfully. Charlotte, yeah, that'll get some rain. So that's it, minus the fact that it's category 4 now. So let us do some more for you guys. And thank you all for joining us. Here's the path map. Now, this is probably one of the more important maps that you're going to see. It is a 4. There's where it is pretty much about 52 minutes ago. The good news is it is driving to the north-northeast at 23. The winds are 130, which makes it a low-end category 4, thankfully. The gusts are up to 155 miles per hour. So I want to just kind of hone in on this and show you where it's going to go, because you have people in the Carolinas and Georgia, so they're actually anticipating it in almost 6 hours to be still a 2 in southern Georgia and headed towards the Atlanta area. Now, it's going to weaken to a tropical storm as it goes towards Atlanta, but it still could be a category 1 in here. All right, and then it weakens to a tropical storm, and then it kind of turns around and becomes a tropical depression as we go into Friday night and Saturday, and then it just kind of stalls out here. All right, but a lot of rain for this area, but not a lot of wind. So it's the landfall that's probably coming, I would say shortly before midnight down here. Now, where is down here? And I want to take my scratch off the map here. And this is what Dorian was talking about. This is a good radar image. I mean, and you can see that there's a tornado watch all along the coast here. So that's just adding insult to injury. So as you guys look at that, every time you see one of these red polygons, that's a tornado warning. And they're radar indicated, so they're not confirmed on the ground, but that's the insult to injury. You've got a hurricane that can cause, quite a bit of destruction, and then you add a few tornadoes spinning up with it. So what we were looking at in the cameras was this area right here, Tampa. That's where that was. And then we were up to about Crystal River, which is up in this area right there. So we were looking at cameras and I'll stop it at the latest frame here, so I'm 80 to 110 miles away. Now, that's not the way the storm is moving. It's paralleling the coast. So it's going to the north here. Pardon me. And let me back it out, show you the loop again. It's going north-northeast at 23. Right, sir?
Yes. And they just put out a new advisory, north-northeast around 23 miles an hour. And the maximum sustained winds is still at 130. They expect a little bit of more strengthening before the center reaches the coast in a few hours, and then, of course, it'll begin to weaken once it hits land.
All right, so you got the eye, and you can see it's starting to move off to the northeast. It's starting to pick up some speed here. So I'm going to judge about this area, 92 miles away, 23 miles an hour. So that's 4 hours, basically. Okay, so, a little bit before midnight. And if it accelerates, it'll be sooner. So this is the general area that we're working with here, near Perry. All right. And I don't have a lot of towns listed here, but there's Cross City and Perry. We're trying to kind of take a midpoint where I think it's going to go.
So they have it about 80 miles west southwest of Cedar Key, Florida, and about 115 miles south of Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay. So the movement seems to be to the east of Tallahassee towards midnight, let's say between 11 and midnight. And they've got 130 mile per hour winds with this thing. So, that's quite the shot. Okay. Tammy, good to see you. Ellen, good to see you. Charlie.
Hi, Lori. How you doing?
Nicole, good to see you. Mary Kay. Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Thomas. Jeff, good to have you. All right. So this is trajectory for now. We've got other graphics for you guys just to swap and share, to give you more information. And thanks, Dorian, for the late. Now, is that a 7 or an 8 o'clock update?
8 o'clock.
So that's the latest and the greatest. Thankfully, it's maintaining. It's not strengthening yet more. And you want it to keep trucking because obviously the faster it goes, the faster it's going to hit land, and then it will dissipate more, at least the wind field. The good thing is that we get the cloud shield, and that's mainly what we're going to get. So let me show you some precipitation stuff. All right. So this is from NOAA. This is from the National Hurricane Center. And because it's moving so quickly, these areas, 2 to 4 in the green, 4 to 6 in the yellow, that's not a lot of rain from a hurricane. And that's because it's moving quickly. All right. As it slows down, you're looking at up here, Chattanooga, Knoxville, that's near the Great Smoky Mountains. That seems to be where most of the moisture is going to ring out, west towards Cape Girardeau, Missouri. But the important thing to look for here is that it's not coming this way. You can just see the curve by where they're anticipating the heaviest rainfall. So thankfully, it's making a left-hand turn, and it's not going to bring a lot of rain up here. Now, here's another interesting graphic. It's the flood graphic, percentage of flood. And the purple is at least 70% chance, and you can see where it goes. Tallahassee, Atlanta, up into the Smokies. The green is 5% chance of flooding. So we're not worried about any major impact from this storm, okay? It's the folks in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, portions of Western Virginia and Western North Carolina, that kind of thing. All right, so let me also, got a nice graphic here with wind gusts, I believe. If I can get it to go. Always interesting. All right, there we go. This is a nice tight graphic, okay? So you can see that even the winds on the east, to the east of the center, these are the gusts, okay? So 74 is hurricane strength, all right? So like Bradenton Beach has a gust of 76. So they're getting hurricane strength gusts here. Now the core, as Dorian was saying, is producing winds 130 miles per hour sustained, not gusts. And so I want to just check at the Hurricane Center. And you guys who have relatives, friends, family, maybe business interests, homes, this is the path right up here towards like Horseshoe Beach to the east of Tallahassee and up into Georgia. And I want to check in the Hurricane Center here with just a shot at, because it's always good to look at the cone as well as the width of the hurricane winds and the width of the tropical storm force winds, because the hurricane winds are the ones over 73 miles an hour. So if you look at this, it's these areas right here at landfall. Okay, they're going to bear the brunt because this is probabilities. In other words, they've got like 90% probability of getting that at landfall, and then as it goes north, it weakens. Okay, and you lose the wind, but you get a ton of rain. So this is the corridor right in here that's going to bear the brunt of the storm. All right. Just wanted to alert you guys, if you do have friends or family or relatives, whatnot, in that general area. Let me see. We want to do storm surge as well, because this is the most dangerous part of a hurricane, because basically what you're looking at here, and I'll bring it over, is a wind-driven wall of water. The track is up towards Apalachicola, all right? So the biggest storm surge is going to be to the right of the center, because the winds are counterclockwise, and this is where the wind-driven wall of water gets pushed up. On this side, the winds are from the land, so you don't get the big storm surge here. So as you guys can see, from Apalachicola over here, and I can't even pronounce that word, but that's, this is the 15 to 20 foot storm surge Thomas Carlucci was talking about. Now I can find that general area. We'll use radar, to do that. But that's 2 stories worth of water there. And that's what kills most people. If you get inundated, it's just like a tidal wave. So wanted to update there. All right. KD, Anna, good to see you. No problem. Kathy, I know you got family in Missouri there. So Cape Girardeau going to get a bunch of rain from it. Let me go back to radar here for you guys, just to show you what's going on here with trying to isolate the area of the greatest impact right up in this region here. Okay. And I wish I wish I had better geography here, that would put more towns. So to the east of Apalachicola, and then I know that this place that starts with CHAT and a lot of other things is down in this general area, okay, like Homosassa Springs and in that area. So if I widen this out and just kind of give you guys an idea, and I'll draw it on here for you, where that 15 to 20 foot storm surge is expected. It's kind of like whoops, let me grab my pen. It's kind of like from here, I believe.
There's a lot of wildlife areas.
Right, yeah, in that area. So that's that.
And all that.
You have all these little inlets, and that's what Dorian's like. This is Crystal River, okay, where our friend Sherry Meter lives. I don't know if she's on there with us, but the Weather Channel actually put a weather station at the end of her driveway to measure winds. So she's actually inland a little bit here. She's not on the water, so that will help. But these little inlets and wildlife areas, like Dorian's alluding to, all along this portion of Florida, is going to bear the brunt of that 15 to 20 foot surge. Okay. And that's really the area of concern in the next 4 hours, because thankfully, still moving at 23, it's going to keep moving. So it's a quick, hard hit. All right. And then it's moving north. Okay. See who else we got here. Marcella in Texas, not affected by this.
Yes, no, we're close.
Mary Shandorf. Okay. 70 mile per hour, and that's what we just showed you there. Thankfully, it's moving north and actually away from them. Family in Tampa, and again, you guys can be, they're just getting brushed, okay? Just so you know. I mean, it's not fun to get 70 mile an hour winds down here, but this storm is moving away from them, okay? So it's the places up here by what they call the Big Bend that are going to take the direct hit. And again, everything to the east is where you have, it's called the right front quadrant, okay? And let me just see if I can.
And that's where you get the most quick ups, the quick spell of tornadoes. Hence why they had a tornado watch. As Tom alluded, you know, that right front quadrant is some now a lot of meteorologists watch because you can get those spin up tornadoes.
Yeah, and we were talking about this a little bit on the nightcap last night. So you could just picture this, and I'll give you the latest frame, as a big old low pressure area. It's a low, and it spins the air counterclockwise. So if you are to the east of the center and you just draw a clock on the direction of movement, all right? So if you drew a big old clock here, and this was 12, and this is 3, this is what's called the right front quadrant. And that is where the southerly winds pick up the Gulf of Mexico and throw it on land here. So this is where your greatest storm surge is going to be in this area because of the position of everything. And also Dorian was alluding to, and we were showing you, just look for these red polygons here that just spin up. There's tremendous spin here, you know, so obviously these things are capable of producing tornadoes. They're usually smaller tornadoes, and they usually don't last long, but I'm just going to pick this corridor here, and you can see these little warnings in the red that spin up, okay? So they kind of come and go, thankfully, pretty fast, but they can certainly do some damage. So if I stop this, I can just show you that, let's just say, 20, 25 minutes ago, I'm going to find one here, Port Charlotte, Arcadia had a tornado warning in DeSoto County, and that was in effect till 7:45. All right, so that gives you an idea of what else is going on. Again, for you folks who have friends, family, interests in this area. Got anything more, bud?
Nothing on my end. Just the advisory is saying that it's still low in Category 4 hurricane. Is going to strengthen a bit before it reaches land, and they're just saying, just hunker down. Just hunker down if you have any friends or family in that area, because it's only deteriorating from here, and it's going to be like that pretty much all night until, you know, the hurricane moves. And like Tom was saying, as long as it stays at that fast rate with 23 miles, it can be out of there soon. Now, they did say in the public advisory, it is poised to slow down once it gets into Georgia. So that's another fear with all that rain, that wind.
And you guys can see here, you know, there's the eye. This is a satellite clear picture. Not a lot of lightning with this thing, but, you know, you can see these thunderstorms. That's the eye wall, the area surrounding the column I. That's the fierce ring of thunderstorms
going
there.
Through our eye wall replacement cycle.
Looks like that, yeah. So it's still making its mark here, but you know, the quicker it moves, the closer it gets to the coast. And again, we can measure it right here. There's the eye, and it's trucking. If it's going in this general, I'm just trying to mimic where it's going. You know, All right. The center of circulation getting to the coast in less than 80 miles. Okay. And you can see the tornado warnings in the reds. These are flood warnings in the blues and greens there. And yes, what we were going over before was the path. And we'll do that again, just for those of you who have friends and family. I know, Kathy, you just joined us. Widen it out just a bit. So the wind is still north-northeast at 23, sustained winds at 130. So it goes up south of Atlanta, and then once it gets past Atlanta, it weakens into a tropical storm, and then it curves to the west here. And, you know, it's not a hurricane by any stretch anymore. It's just a breezy rainstorm by Saturday. Okay. But the good news for us, and we can do some local stuff here too, just taking the wider view, just to show you that hardly any of it is coming up here. We get the cloud shield, but we don't get the bulk of the storm. Just trying to decide which model I want to try with this thing. See if I can widen this thing out a bit. All right, so there it is down there. Okay, and stop moving forward. Come on. All right, so you can see the general spin of it. This is taking you into tomorrow night. Okay, so you can see if you could, it's forecast to be in western Kentucky. What's left of it, we're on the northern fringe of it. We can get a few showers. We're fairly cloudy through the period, but we're not getting any big brunt. And we're going to be a little bit on the humid side because it is tropical air coming up, and we're going to be on the mild side, just like we have been for days. Basically highs in the low to mid 70s, lows in the upper 50s to mid 60s. So it's not a big impact on us. Okay, so I wanted to point that out. We get clouds, maybe a few showers at night, tomorrow night into Saturday morning, maybe a few late Sunday or Saturday night into Sunday, but not a big deal for us. And I'll do another one here, and this one might show up better. Okay. So there it goes. It hooks. Rain tries to get up in here, right? So you're looking at, again, tomorrow evening, some showers are trying to come up here, but they're not anything because it's just running into some drier air. So you can get some off and on showers at times, but you're not going to get like this nasty stuff over here that's being envisioned for Western Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Eastern Missouri, Western Tennessee, all that stuff. We escaped that. So I really wanted to point that out too. All right. Yeah, let's. I think we're pretty good here. So, you know, if you guys have any last minute questions, and thank you, sir, for feeding me the latest, because they're issuing a lot every hour. They're issuing a new advisory.
They're starting to kind of be rapid fire about that, which is a good thing because, you know, the more data, the more information, the better. It's just, you know, keep them in your thoughts if you have friends or family members down there because it's going to be bad, unfortunately. It's just the quicker it goes, the quicker it's out of there. And the goal is not for it to stall out. That's the thing. So.
Yep, as long as it keeps moving. So, again, thanks, everybody. Appreciate your time. And, of course, we'll be back. Fox 66 News at 10, Jet at 11. We'll be doing few more updates, and I'll do the weather nightcap, of course, later on tonight. So obviously, we're in no danger up here. If you got friends, families, or interests down there, keep in touch as best you can. And there's gonna be lots of power outages and all that stuff that comes with this. But as Dorian says, as long as it keeps moving, it won't be as bad as it could be. And we'll try to keep that in perspective for you. So you guys have a great night, and hopefully we'll catch you later this evening and on the nightcap later on tonight. Take care.